there, kids. Welcome to the Ascertainers, episode 7, Lucky 7. We are real happy to continue with our theme music that we think we were able to edit into this. My partner and podcast partner and I are not like that. Let's not rule it out. But anyhow, Mark, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
And I are happy to present episode 7. I'm going to
try to use so much correct grammar, but go ahead.
Ooh, yeah. Well, since I did my grammar public service announcement, there's a little pressure on me now. So anyway, time to do the who, what, why, and where of the Ascertainers. It's Mark and Jim, a couple of former next-door neighbors for 20-plus years, live in Minnesota, regular old boring married guys with 2 kids for a total of 4. The What? It's a podcast about music, and then just other stuff, mostly us just making fun of each other. Try to keep it positive. Why are we doing it? We got nothing else to do on Friday nights. So we just kind of want to have a place where we can opine on certain things, and when we disagree, we hope to set a good example for how to disagree without being disagreeable or canceling in any way, and we like to have some fun with it. And then the where, I guess you already know because you're listening, but anywhere you can find a podcast. Mark, who was the opening song done by today?
We are going to choose the name Cosmic Muffin.
Cosmic Muffin. Well, you don't really say that. You just say it was Cosmic Muffin. It's actually, for those, if this is not your, this is our second episode. It's the same theme music. We're just going to come up with a different band name every time.
Well, I have to put in that your son did edit the last one. That kind of helped me out because I don't know what I'm doing. But
well, that's pretty clear if it's your...
He did a very good job.
Even if this is your first episode, you've already figured that out. That,
Ouch.
Continue. 2 minutes in, and I already gave Mark a little...
Did you say that you were going to try to be nicer to me?
I said try. What did Yoda say about try? You would know this. You watch those freaky movies. There is no try, there's only do. And that comes from a movie that goes against all my rules of movie watching.
What movie is that?
I don't know. Is it Star Wars? What's Yoda in?
Oh, that is.
I think that's Star Wars.
Yeah, when he's on
spaceships.
When Luke's on the planet.
Learning. You know what? I didn't even say how many Wookiees is too many for me, but I'm going to say one Wookiee is too many.
Yes. I think everyone would agree with that.
Okay. Okay there, Mr. Confident. Let's see here. Oh, we're doing the radio game again this week, week 2, because it's so brand new. During the episode, or prior to the episode, Mark and I each picked 3 bands that are most likely to appear on our local album-oriented rock station that's been playing the same crap since the mid-80s, 1980s. This week, the nominees are, Mark picked Van Halen, I countered with Van Morrison, Mark picked Aerosmith, I got ZZ Top, and then Mark went way out in left field and went with David and David, a one-hit wonder if there ever was one, but what a hit. Welcome to the Boomtown. And I went with the combo stable entry of Mellencamp / Cougar. John Cougar.
Oh, that's right.
John Mellencamp. You could double my odds.
Would that be... You could only count whatever name he was using at that time?
It's like two mints and one.
Because he did do John Cougar Mellencamp.
I get them all. I get John Cougar, I get John Cougar Mellencamp, and I get John Mellencamp. Just like I get Van Morrison.
We both win because either one, because it was Van. So I could say.
Well, I hope one of the Vans wins so I can really stretch it out. So periodically throughout the show, I'm just going to take this little extra set of headphones since we don't have a guest this week. Sorry. I will just steal away and see if I can hear. I'll listen to what song's playing, and if any one of those 6 shows up, I will. I'll stop the podcast and say we have a winner. So
sounds good.
That sounds so much fun for everybody else. I have to say that on the last episode, speaking of ZZ Top, I did reference ZZ Top's guitar player, and apparently my lips weren't working very well, much like every other episode. And it sounded like, when I listened to it, it sounded like I said Billy Givens with a V, and of course it's Billy. it's it's Billy Gibbons.
Oh, I thought it was he took his wife's name, Robin Givens, when he.
Who's that? Is that Mike Tyson's wife?
She was.
Oh,
wow.
How about my new self-help book, How to Not Be Robin Givens?
Wasn't she? She was on some television show. I couldn't tell you what, though.
Probably How I Got Rich by
Marrying Mike Tyson.
marrying Mike Tyson and writing a book. Okay. Recaps from last week. We talked about the Kentucky Derby, and I have a retraction to make. I said that the trainer that was
You did.
basically
You
killed.
said I would feel bad.
The trainer that was basically killing horses was a woman, and it was definitely a man, but kind of a woman's name. So I'm going to say I was wrong, but hard to blame me. It was like Lassie or something was the person's name.
I'm going to say I'm wrong, but I'm not really.
Yeah,
Wait.
well, that's how I roll, man.
I love these apologies.
Why would I apologize for being half wrong? I mean, I was also half right. So
All right.
anyway,
there.
and my
Stephen Perry.
well, we could let's jump on that when you get a chance. I'll be done here in a sec. I'll be done here in about 40 minutes. You can say something after that. But my strategy of betting 6 mid-range horses, pretty much long shot, but not favorites. I bet 6 of them. One of them did get scratched. Skinner got scratched. I really liked Skinner too. But
Leonard.
I bet win place show on 6 different horses, $2 each, $2 win place show a bet. And then I bet win place for $2 on one of the favorites. And one of my horses came in, and the one that I picked win place on showed, of course, right? Anyway, it wouldn't have paid nothing. But I wound up winning $12 on my $40 bet. So I got a $52 or $54 ticket to cash if I can ever find it, because I had some friends go to the track.
So
I profited.
52. You profited $12.
Yes, I got my money back plus 12 or 14, I think it was.
Oh, you're a rich man.
Well, I just don't want the government crawling up my ass.
Well,
With the big winners.
I was thinking, with the Newts thing that
Oh,
now you're making more money at the track than you're making at this wonderful gig.
I don't want to brag, but we did go to dinner at Newt's tonight. But on Sunday I was at Newt's, and I was kind of telling them that hey, we talk up the podcast or talk up the establishment. Newt's, Apple Valley, great burgers, free popcorn, ice cold beer. You gotta love it. Newt's in Apple Valley. How was that? Was that
What that is?
Does that sound natural?
Do they have a jingle that we could throw in there?
I think I just threw it. I think you got to.
I'll
gotta
hum
appreciate-
something in the background.
You gotta appreciate the spontaneity there. I'm talking to the manager or the general manager, whatever they have weird titles there, and I said, hey, we do a podcast and we talk about Newts quite a bit. And he brought me. I said, we're looking for a sponsor, and he gave me a free beer. And I thought, we're on the map now. We are sponsored. I got a free beer from the general manager of Newt's, Apple Valley. Free popcorn.
How big was the beer?
I thought you would do this. It was a small beer. It was technically a sample, okay? But anyway, we got a free beer because of the ascertainers. So,
how much would that cost?
Well, that's the thing.
Because we got to split it. I didn't get anything from that.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Neither did I. So, but you know what I got is I got about 2 swallows of beer, and they were delicious. They were indescribably good. Your first free podcast beer, Mark. You don't forget it.
I was going to throw something dirty in there, but
Do
when
tell.
you said the 2 swallows, but I just
Oh my word!
I let it go
I'm a
because
ch-
I'm so mature.
I'm a gentleman. Of course, I'm going to swallow the free beer. Kidding me? All right, man. My throat hurts. My back hurts too from carrying this episode. What do you got? What do you want to talk about, Mister? I don't write stuff down and makes fun of me because I jot stuff down. You're like, I just go with the flow. Well, start to flow there, man.
Well, a longtime listener, can I call him that?
Well, I think he's about our longest time listener.
He's listened to every episode, and he listens very closely. He's critiqued me very, I don't know.
Honestly
Well,
and fairly.
in my mind, not very honest.
Probably politely. When you come
He
down
has
to
been.
it.
He's been very good. But he came up with some suggestions,
Okay.
and we always ask for that. So if you have any, and I'll lay this on Jim right now, he said, list your top 5 bands.
And he said this to me about 10 minutes ago before we came on. And I'm like, oh, I got to think about it. And then he forbade me.
Forebode.
I think it's forbade. He forbidded. I know it's not that, but he told me not to.
There's a myriad
Think about
of ways to do it,
Oh, you son of a bitch.
but
I know that there's... Oh, you totally just threw me.
sorry.
I will never do another grammar public service announcement until later in this episode.
Well, we
Because
have a many of times to do
Some
it.
people need to know, and we will also describe proper digging techniques for a shallow grave. And this is the time of year to do it. The soil is just starting to loosen up a little. So what do I do? Do I got to tell you my top what?
Top 5 bands.
We gotta alternate it, man. There's no way I'm gonna go 5, then you're gonna go 5. That's
Well,
boring.
I know your first one is going to be Rush,
I think you're right.
and mine's going to be The Grateful Dead.
Okay.
The only non-druggy that's great into The Grateful Dead, but
Not druggy. Whatever. Okay, they're Panama Red. I'm going to say my second favorite band of all time. This is bullshit.
I'll go
You should have let me have some time. Yeah, go ahead.
Pink Floyd.
Okay.
What?
Well, that's like listening to KQ. I mean, I'm just going to go down our list here.
But I really enjoyed Pink Floyd. I listened to it over and over again growing up.
Okay. I'm going to have to throw Van Halen out there. That sounds even more cliche than Pink Floyd, but I listened to a shit ton of Van Halen growing up.
So,
And until I saw David Lee Roth in video, I thought Van Halen was easily the coolest band of all time. And then I saw a guy that looked like he had fleas wiggling around the stage, and it ruined it for me. But
what about the Panama kicking his leg?
yeah, that's again. That was video. That was there was probably a lot of cutting room floor stuff like this
I'm
podcast. Sure. Okay, I'll go. I'm going to throw a local one out with the number 3, but I really don't think that. I mean, define favorite. Is this favorite as in what you've listened to your whole life, or just what you're into now, or what
See, that's a big thing. It's your tastes change over time.
All right, I'm going to throw a local.
Let's go growing up.
Oh fuck! Really? Okay, Styx. Let's do a lot of Styx.
Wow.
Welcome to the Grand Illusion. Come on in. Let's see what's happening or something.
That's a really good one.
Is that what you were going to go with?
No. Hell no.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to put it with a Count Basie or something? What do you got there? We're 3. I got 3 in. You got 2 in?
I got 2 in. I'm going to say
Phrasing. Go
Joe Walsh.
Nice. Joe Walsh. Very limited work. All of it? Eagles, James Gang, everything?
Not much James Gang, just a few their big hits with them.
Okay.
But all his solo work. Not
Life's Been Good to Me so far as a anthem. That is such a great song.
Meadows. That's a good song.
Oh, I thought there was more.
No.
You know I'm going to go with number 4. It's got to be in my top 5 if they sang one of my top 10 favorite songs ever, which might have been a little bit of a reach, but I'm going to say Dire Straits. Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're like,
I do
wow.
like Dire
I think I
Straits.
got you on your heels on that one.
Yeah. Now we're starting to... Even though I told you not to think about it, I haven't thought about this either.
Well,
So
that's an amazing capacity that you had the question for 5 days and you didn't think about it.
I do not do any show prep whatsoever.
You remind me of David Putty, Elaine's boyfriend. I just picture you just staring straight ahead for the whole week and then just having that parked in the old cerebellum or wherever the back of the
Do I
brain
have
is.
to stare straight ahead? Can I turn my head? Because sometimes I space out that way also.
I think that I didn't know you had it in you, but sure, I suppose. So you're up.
You got 4 in?
We have to phrase things differently here. I got Rush. I got Styx.
Van Halen.
Oh, with Rush, Van Halen, Styx, Dire Straits.
Well, I should bring up, I brought this up before, early Aerosmith.
Jesus.
Before, the...
Before Dude Looks Like a Lady?
Yeah, Pump
You
album.
didn't like that. Wow, you're very transphobic. It's unfortunate. I might have to kick you off your own podcast.
You were the one that brought up that transphobic...
Cal, I'm going to throw one out that's really going to... Well, no, I mean, if we're being honest, Ted Nugent. Love the Nuge.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day,
That stole... You stole mine.
stoled.
Stole? Ripped off?
Stole.
Isn't that like a shawl? A stole?
That's exactly what it is. That's how you spell it, too. That'll be on my next grammar update. Okay, what's your last one there, guy with the idea?
That was him opening a beer.
Nobody can tell.
With the foil.
None of the... Yeah, but it's going to get in my fillings.
Bite on it.
Do you remember last time? Oh, I literally just... I'm going to give you a clue. I'm going to give you a hint for a band. Last time on the last episode, when I tap on my microphone, it sounds like a bass drum, right? But through our editing or whatever, you hear nothing. So I was trying to do the beginning of Iron Man by Black Sabbath. That was your clue. I should have picked Black Sabbath over Styx. But anyway, now I got 6 in there. Hey, phrasing.
I could go do... I got Tommy Bolin.
Again, I've never heard of Tommy Bolin until last week.
Post-Toasties.
You were playing Tommy
Dreamers.
Bolin like he was...
He actually joined Deep Purple there. For a
There,
while.
that's where I would know that from. Okay. Deep Purple could have been in
The first
that could have, should have made the cut.
first
That-
rock band that may have had a #1 hit
What now?
on the pop chart.
Deep Purple was considered... Oh, really? Well, what a fun fact. Hey, I want to do a shout out to that fan that gave us this idea, because this is a pretty good little segment, I think. And I have an observation to make.
What's that?
#1 fan, Audie, who lives nearby. I see the tank tops. I think I see a pattern here. I think you're a tank top guy now, and I'm going to have to adjust to that, and that's fine. I'm a t-shirt man.
He has.
I'm a crew neck t-shirt man. Let me go ahead and I'll just tell you right now. I 2% milk. Put the seat down.
What the hell are you talking
I lift the
about?
seat up when I piss, and I don't wear tank tops outdoors. Hell, I don't even wear them indoors. So I admire that pluck and whatever that is, that joie de vie that you display. I also want to say that I saw that same guy weed whipping in flip flops.
Oh, that could be painful.
Well, I'm just saying that. You ever heard that? You ever heard of a saying called "He had the confidence of a serial killer," meaning, you know what I mean, just steely. And I think I would take the confidence of a guy weed whipping with flip flops on over that of a serial killer. I mean, good Lord!
I agree.
But his lawn is pretty. Nothing. There's nothing that's going to hurt him in his lawn.
Well, he does have the best lawn now.
I will say that he comes around though. He's such an Audi that he comes around and he will we have like a little structure that covers up like a utility thing, you know, and there's like a little, you know,
right by the street, by the circle.
Yeah, but he will
now everyone knows where you live.
He will. Oh my God, he will give the part on my side of the property line. The exact same attention as his, and that is the mark of a true Audi. And the fact that he does it in flip-flops and a tank top shouldn't bother me. I should take that as that's a real compliment. So, Audi J. Oh, there, I said it. He just got himself. He's close to being a made guy, and he will be on this podcast. He'll maybe be our first guest.
He is going to be our '80s music guy. He's a hairband guy.
He's a former member of Mossball Torsion as well, the neighborhood band.
Singer, drummer.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate him because because he's been a phenomenal neighbor, kind of like you were until you moved. And if you ever want to tell us why you moved, that'd be kind of fun.
Well, I moved so Audie could have the better lawn.
Oh my God!
Because I did have the best lawn in the neighborhood till there were a few guys. Audi there, and then the Audi on the coming in the neighborhood. If you remember him,
you are in thin ice right now, pal. I'm looking at you sweating. It's like 68 degrees in here, and you don't know how you're going to get out of this. You think your lawn is better than Audi J, the flip flop weed whipper?
Oh yeah, when it was.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's why you moved, because you were in denial. I think you moved because you were worried about his is like a pool table. His looks like me when I was 12.
Yeah, but mine was. Well, we had different cutting heights. He uses the manscaping thing and keeps it.
He does.
Trim.
I actually saw him
more of a 70s guy, and I kept it a little bit longer.
Let her buck, just get a little high and tight, little off the top there.
But even the mailman stopped me one time when I was out there.
Are you talking about the postman or the mailman that used to come to your house a lot?
No, Carl Malone. No, the postman.
He stopped you and said he was hitting on you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, let's say he was the mailman. And you don't get much more mail than that. Shit, something just went in and out of my head. Phrasing. Anyway, all right. What do we got there? How much time are we in here? I can't see that far.
Halfway.
Oh, cool. All right, well, the new rule. Oh, hey, you know what? Mr. Carry the show, why don't you bring up the next thing while I check the radio station real quick?
Oh, yeah, he's putting on headphones right now. And it always...
Black Sabbath. Damn it!
Is it really? What is it?
It's Paranoid. Yep. What a tune. What a tune. What an album.
Yes.
The album's called Paranoid too, yeah?
Yeah. That's a good movie. Their last tour that they filmed.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's very good.
How long ago? Were they old and decrepit, or were they in their prime?
No, they're old and decrepit. They were doing their farewell tour, and they were filming it.
Okay. With
my brother-in-law down in Little Rock. Can I say that? Yeah.
You just did. He is a dead man.
You mean like Grateful Dead? No, he hates them.
I don't think that... Do we have any Little Rock downloads? Does he even know about this thing?
Well, I told I don't have any social media, so I asked my wife to post it, but she's reluctant because she's...
Reluctant. Listen Okay, there.
She's embarrassed of me.
Mark, do you try to throw a high-scoring Scrabble word in every episode? Reluctant. Is she reticent? Spell reluctant. Don't. I'm sorry.
She is a resident of Minnesota, yes.
Resident. She's an illegal resident. Let's see here.
Oh, but I was, you were putting on the headphones and you sidetracked me again. Okay. And I was thinking of those old headphones did you have those pair? They were huge. And they put on your head, you plug them into your hi-fi.
Never had good headphones growing up.
Well, I didn't have good ones.
I had the kind where the foam, like the little foam part would like just be inside your ear. The next day it's like, what the hell? This little piece of...
these had the rubber covers.
No, I don't know. Listen to you, Richie Rich. I thought you guys
they were Pencrest.
Pencrest. Oh, that's right, because you had worked at that...
My dad worked at J.C. Penney's, so...
Good headphone story for me growing up. So in the junior high I went to, there was you had to take a language other than English. So I took Spanish, and then they would have these little.
I think you should have taken English. But go ahead.
That's a good one. You are right on your game tonight, Pally. So they had these little. They had these little blocks. It was like a 4-inch by 4-inch. See how I hold my fingers apart? It was like
about this long.
Yeah. Wow. No one's gonna get that. If they do, they're clairvoyant. Also, prom date. Clairvoyant. She's really weird. Clairvoyant. Get it? I don't even know what that means, but that just popped into my head. I knew a girl named Claire. Planet Claire has pink hair. You know what? I'm just going to bypass what I was talking about and talk about the B-52s because that just came up organically. I had the B-52s written down because I wanted to talk about something else.
In our pre-production meeting.
Clairvoyant. No, in my head, I have a pre-production meeting. What were we talking about before that so I can indicate it and get back to it?
Headphones.
Yes, Spanish class. Okay. It all comes together. Here's how it started. You started with headphones. I went from Spanish class to clairvoyance to the B-52s. It's obvious, isn't it? Your Honor, isn't it obvious?
What are we talking about? Headphones? Oh, that's right, Spanish.
Oh, Mark's doing his emphysema laugh again. Mark was so worried before this. Oh, then he does the thing. He does the thing like a guy right before he goes underwater for the third time. It's like, ah!
How do you go from headphones to Spanish class? I'll never know. But,
I can't. Well,
okay.
I'll show you, Big Daddy. All you gotta do is stick around. You gotta pay attention. So,
sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
What was your chief concern going into this episode? What did you tell me? What were you most worried about?
That I wouldn't laugh as hard, but you make me laugh every time.
Mark's like, after the last episode where we both almost passed out from laughing, he's like, I think it's gonna. I don't think we got it in us. It's not a thing we can flip on like a switch. And I said, Mark, what did I say to you, Mark?
You said.
This is a life lesson little thing. One of my things that I kind of like.
Manifest destiny.
No.
Shoot.
Well, no. I think that's when you think something positive will happen, then it happens. I said it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you said something bad will happen or something won't happen, you will figure out a way subconsciously to allow that not to happen. So I think you instead went the route of manifest destiny, and look what we got. We got a good laugh out of you there. How you feel?
Good, thank you.
Good. Do you want a banana? Are you cramping? We don't have bananas here, but we want you to think we have bananas here. Lots of them, big, ripe, not just a little bit of green.
Sorry, you were talking about the B-52s.
What now? Oh, sorry. How'd you get to that? B-52s.
So I bought this car. No, go ahead.
So there's a song, or there's a statement that goes into one of their songs, and he goes, "Where's my telephone?" And I'm like, I was looking for my phone the other day, and that popped into my head, and I'm like, oh, that's a B-52 song. So I googled B-52s, "Where's my telephone?" And it's a song called "Strobe Light." And I'm telling you right now, the B-52s, I think, were known as a kind of a parody,
Quirky.
yeah, kind of a gimmick band. Holy shit, were they good?
They were
I mean,
very
they
good.
really. I mean, so what I loved growing up, I'm going to try to do this, and I think in this little stack of albums here, I've got a B-52 song. It should be Bright Yellow. This might be it. Boom! Liner notes on this bad boy. What I fell in love with, and this is the self-titled, the eponymous self-titled. I don't know what eponymous means. I think it's like the cousin of a rhinoceros, an eponymous. No?
Oh, it means that no one knows who you are.
Oh, for real?
No, anonymous. I'm sorry, I was just.
So what it says, it lists the band members, and it says what instruments or what they do for the band. So I'm just going to do this real quick. Kate Pearson, vocals, organ, keyboard, bass, second guitar on these two songs. Fred Schneider, vocals, walkie-talkie, toy piano, keyboard, bass. I'll cut to the last guy. Ricky Wilson, guitar and smoke alarm.
He's the one who passed, right?
I don't know. Two of them got the same last name, so I wonder if they were brother and sister or husband and wife. But I think they were fresh out. This is put out in 1979, and I believe this was an Athens, Georgia band.
Yes.
And let's hear the track list on this bad boy. Planet Claire, the song that got us here. 52 Girls, Dance This Mess Around, you know that song. Rock Lobster, you know that one. Lava, There's a Moon in the Sky Called the Moon. Hero Worship, 6060842, and then Downtown. Well, that wasn't very impressive, but real fun album. They, excuse me, grammar PSA.
Pronouns.
They and the Knack and the Talking Heads, I think, might even get thrown in there a little bit, even though they were like some serious hardcore musicians. But they're like some of their videos, you would think that they were kind of, being kind of weird or trying to be weird.
I didn't get the Knack
Oh,
in that little play on words, but
was-
I didn't care for the Knack.
It was nice working with you, and I wish you well. Drops walk. Where are you
What
going?
was the second one?
Jim, where are you going?
You said B-52s, the Knack, and
Oh, Talking Heads.
oh, I didn't care for the Talking Heads either.
Talking Heads had a record called Fear of Music that had a song called Life During Wartime that is it's almost the perfect song. We'll play it after. You will. No, that's the.
That's the only one I remember.
And you might find yourself living in a shotgun shack.
Yeah.
I don't know what a shotgun shack is. I'm guessing it's not good.
No.
Okay. So my little list has a bunch of hash marks on it. Where are we at on the old time ski?
We planned these to be about 40 between 40 and 45 minutes. That's why he's asking all that time. But we're at 34 minutes right now.
I have a note on here. It just says, "Oh, Spanish class." Ha! Let's close the loop on that, because otherwise people aren't going to be able to sleep good.
And this started with headphones.
Did you hear when I said sleep good? There, I'm trying to talk like the people and
Right.
use poor grammar.
I would say, well,
I'm trying to use poor grammar to fit in with the common folk. But I like to sleep good. You ever hear someone say member instead of remember? Come on, man, you member? You member?
Maybe that's a Family Guy one where Stewie says, "Member." Maybe that was it.
I'll tell you, the first time I heard that, this is stolen like most of my stuff. George Lopez talks, it's like he's using his relatives from Mexico. And they're like, come on, you remember. And it's quite good. So I don't agree with all of George Lopez's political stuff, but he's a pretty funny individual when he starts ragging on his family. The Spanish thing, the headphones. Let's close the loop on the headphones. So we had this, there was these little, so 4 students would have to each plug in a headphone jack into this square thing. Let's say it was 6 inches square. So 6 by 6 by 6 by, what would that be?
You're delving way into the weeds here. But go ahead.
I'm going to guess 6. So anyhow, and then you would.
But it was those old headphones.
Yes.
With the.
Well, they were old timey headphones.
High school ones.
Yeah, well, they were good, but you couldn't hear anything like when you're walking by, and that's the whole beauty of it. But then you would put a cassette tape in, and you would all the students then, the 4 people on that block, they would hear, me amo.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Bruce. Yeah. Anyway, me amo Audi. Me amo. Who's the other guy again? Cletus? Who's our?
Chumley.
Oh my God! Look at that. We haven't had Chumley references. Anyway, my buddy who now lives in Hermantown, Minnesota, and you know who we are. We got to call you Audie here because everybody has a fictitious, what do you call that, alias. But he brought.
Well, sometimes
he brought. I think
sometimes I have to edit.
Oh yeah. Well, unless you've earned it, yeah, that's what you're going to get. But he brought. I think it was from Monty Python, and it was a. You remember how there'd be like comedy albums back in the day?
Yeah.
And this was it was a farting contest. And he put that in. So we're sitting in the regular classroom, with a bunch of other people with their 4 headphone jack. And they're all listening to how to speak Spanish. And we're listening to this thing about a fart contest. And it is hilarious. And we're trying. All 4 people are trying to like act cool. Like it's not funny. And then it got to the point where the guy, let's just say he gets disqualified from the farting contest. So
I didn't know Monty Python did any.
Well, maybe it was National Lampoon something or other. Anyway, it was effing hilarious. And we laughed. All 4 people just laughed their asses off. And we got to boot. We got to sit out in the hall. Which is way better than listening to stuff with big sweaty headphones anyway. But that's my headphones. That's my headphones, man. What do you got against the Spanish? My son is engaged to a Spanish-speaking young lady.
I have nothing against the Spanish. I'm just saying, in class, in school, you'd rather listen to, Cheech and Chong.
Oh,
that didn't hurt.
Nice try. Nice try to bring yourself back on that one, pal.
Wow,
we're good. No, I wish I could speak Spanish. You know what? I can't roll my R's. That's a big impediment when it comes to. And I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, Mark, that I think I probably could if I would allow it. So in the next week, I'm going to try to work on rolling my R's. But I have to, you know what I have to do? I have to do the thing in the back of my throat. So if I want to say burrito and make it sound like I
am just going to let all this slide let it go.
Listen to this. So I could say burrito, but it's not my tongue. It's my uvula. That's the lady part, right? In the back of my throat? The uvula?
There's so much I could say.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm going to let it go.
What are you saving it for?
I'm taking the high road.
Whatever.
Here.
You got nothing.
That's what I think. You're just setting me up
burrito.
T-ball.
T-ball. You were a T-ball hero is what I heard. No, that was T-bag hero. But either way, same thing, mostly.
Sad.
I guess. I also have it right above Spanish class. I have a thing called Mark Fail. What was the fail that we talked about? And I remember when I wrote it down, I said, Mark Fail. Isn't it that comic strip? That was Mark Trail. It was funny.
You did, but I don't remember what my fail was.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
what the hell was your fail? Well,
you should probably write more than 1 or 2 words.
Oh, you should see. I made Mark Fail into 1 word. I can barely read
I was going to say.
The only thing I got other than that is Walking Tall, and that's because we were talking about a certain actor. Was it Joe Don Baker?
No, we were talking about someone else, and you brought up Joe Don Baker.
Well, what the hell? Do you remember what you were talking about? It was Brubaker.
It was Brubaker.
Well, talking to the people about Brubakers, I don't really remember Bob Redford.
I can't remember. You said somebody's name, like Ed Brewer, and I said, "Oh, did he run a warden at a prison?"
Oh, I see.
And you said Brubaker. Do you remember the original guy's name? Eddie Baker. But then you said, "Oh, did that star Joe Don Baker?" This is how our conversations go.
I got one. Hey, you like the show Barry, right?
What's that?
You like the show Barry on HBO?
Oh, I do.
So I was thinking that as there was some 70s music playing today, I thought, what if they did a season 5, but instead of using Bill Hader, they used Barry Manilow. And it was so that Barry wouldn't be Barry Birdnick or whatever his name is. It would be Barry Manilow, and he'd be like killing people and stuff. I think that would be rich.
It's funny, but man, it's gotten really dark.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm not. Season 4 is not necessarily working for me, but I know there's going to be a payoff.
Right.
But Bill Hader's going to wind up being like a Tom Cruise level actor, I think.
Oh, he is good.
I mean, he's a 5-tool guy. That's a baseball term, but it's probably an acting term. He can be funny, he can be scary, he can be serious. That's all I got.
And what does that have to do with baseball?
A 5-tool baseball player. What can he do?
He's funny. That's what I was getting at.
So he's funny. He can hit for power. He's serious when he has to be, and he can take a pitch.
So you got that 5 person baseball player from Moneyball, right?
I don't think so. I love Moneyball, though.
They mentioned that Billy Bean was...
Oh, you're talking about Moneyball, the baseball movie. Oh. I was talking about the other one that I rented. I had to go I had to walk behind a curtain of beads to find it. Oh, Moneyball. Oh, that was Moneyballs. I am so absent-minded. I apologize. Oh, I thought Moneyball it's kind of a boring movie, but the whatever chemistry between what's his nuts and the other guy, Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill.
You're correct.
It was very good.
That was a very good movie.
Very good. I almost said very well. I think people misuse the good and well more than I'd like.
Oh my God, are we going to get another?
We're not getting
grammar?
a PSA. We're gonna get up to the edge of one. But so the agreement that we had was that this is kind of like a threat to Mark to keep on topic and to not keep on talking, just to keep talking. Is that if there's ever a big lull, I will throw in a grammar PSA and school all y'all about how to talk good. See what I did there?
I did.
And I didn't have to do any this week, and I think this has got to be pretty close to wrapping up.
It
now,
is.
We do need to do a better wrap-up because it's pretty abrupt. I mean, it's the equivalent of just putting the car in park at highway speed.
Okay, I'll hit stop right now.
Well, that's kind of what you do. So how should we do?
Wow, don't put this all on me.
Well, you're the
you
guy.
Son of a...
Well, no matter when we end it, you're the guy ending it. So
Okay.
I will say that thanks for listening. You're in great company because you know what we did this week? We had our 100th download this week. So 5 episodes. It's an average of 20 people per episode. We should feel really good about that.
You know how many podcasts are out there?
I don't. Why don't you educate?
5 million.
5 million? And we got 100 people. Well, what I like is that if you are listening to this, you should feel that you're in a very, very, very exclusive club.
Yeah. Prestigious exclusive.
Oh, maybe anonymous is a better word, but anyhow, we think it's great. We actually, we'd probably do this. Mark just wanted to get, I told Mark at the beginning when he wanted to, when he was trying to pitch me on this idea, I said, why don't we just sit around and shoot the shit and not record it? And he's like, nope, you got to have the mic, you got to have the equipment. It's got to look real. So that's what we got, and we'll probably keep doing it. We're going to try to maybe get Newt's for a couple of larger sample beers. And, if you do go to Newt's in Apple Valley, great cold beer, free popcorn, and really above average burgers, and really a pretty good menu. Ask to see if Kayla is there or Corey and say, we're here because of the Ascertainers. And then that's all you got to do.
Yeah, they'll get you so far.
That'll get you a table in the back. That's good.
Free
or
popcorn.
Kicked out. But then I'll come and say, hey, has anyone said that? And they'll say, hey, here's your sample. Here's your beer sample there, Audie, Chumley.
But, again, we have our email address.
I can't believe you cleared your throat without coughing there.
I know how to get the phlegm out of it.
That is a skill. Wow.
But the ascertainers@gmail.com with your comments, suggestions, hate mail, whatever you want to do.
I'm not going to jump off a cliff, so quit doing that one.
But we really appreciate everyone who's listened to this.
Hey, why don't we use the theme music to bump out of this?
I will try to work on that. I'm a first-time editor, and it would be...
I think what you want to do is stop talking and edit that last part out. But just what I said, let's use the theme music to bump out, then you would just edit that in. I don't know.
I can do whatever I want with
I think
this.
the people prefer us fighting over it. But anyway, thanks. Bye. Episode 7 is in the books. Let's see if it's lucky.